The one area where I think it is clear-cut, there's no argument to be made, I think your bench is substantially better than our bench. We don't know how Dearden's going to get used. Trent Leora is obviously a debutant, so Max King is as well, but I'd argue Max King's probably been playing a little bit better than Trent Leora, and I know they're not like for like. Trent Leora is a 13. And then you look at Lindsay Collins, who came back. He was solid for the Roosters, but he is a little bit older. And Beau Fermor, I actually think he might start, but let's just assume he's not. When you compare Dearden, Collins, Fermor, Leoro versus Connor Watson, Lenu, Young, King, I think your bench is one area where I'm a bit worried about the impact it's going to have.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you. I think our bench is better, but if the game, as you said before, if the game goes the way that Queensland want it to and they're going to beat you with just pace around the ruck and leg speed, like we could get 25 minutes into this game and I look at your bench and go, fuck, this is heaps scarier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, like if we have ball in play, even though Connor Watson will be able to go toe-to-toe with it, but if we have ball in play a lot, you guys like Haas, Lenu and Young probably better laterally. Lenu and King, laterally, not fitness-wise. We know they're fit, but laterally could get found out a little bit due to the pace of the Queensland side. I
think if we get the same Spencer Leniu we got in Origin last year, you're in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
Well, and I look at the benches, and you guys said there does look like a bit of a mismatch there, Kempy. Let's say Origin plays out like Origin normally does, and that first 20 to 25 minutes is a bit of a grind. They're going toe-to-toe, belting each other off the park, and you're looking for a lift off the bench, and like who's going to come in and inject energy and turn this game. Like there's, at the very least, Watson, Lenu and Hudson Young are all capable of doing that. For the Maroons, Collins, Fermor, Loero, all great footballers, all deserve to be there, but I don't think they're going to come on at that 30-minute mark and turn this game. And then Tommy did, and we'll get to him shortly, but we spoke about it at the selection table. I still don't know how they're going to inject Tom Dearden. So for all those reasons, when you look for that punch 30 minutes in, 25 minutes in, who's going to turn this game? The Blues have 3 blokes who can do it. I don't really see any of those Maroons players doing
that's
it.
why I see Fermor starting and Cotter coming off the bench, because Cotter could impact. If you get Origin Cotter off the bench through the middle, yes, he's not as big as Spencer Leniu, but he has fast leg speed through the middle and can just get in behind the right.
I'd be starting Fermor too. I know he doesn't have the experience there at rep level, but I have got faith in Beau Fermor. He's such a good footballer. I would start Beau Fermor. I would play Jeremiah Nanai off the bench. I don't want Jeremiah Nanai playing that first 20, 25 minutes and getting in that arm wrestle. For me, that's like such a great spot for the Blues to exploit early and test Nanai and say, mate, are you ready or not?
Yeah.
But I think Fermor will do a job there. We know Cotter will do a job there. And then you get to that 25, 30-minute mark and you bring Nanai on and an edge. There's your injection of X Factor who can turn a game.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think Nanai's the one that if I'm the Blues and I see him pick up his card to come on and go, oh, fuck, okay,
shit,
this is going to be a big 15 minutes.
The reason why I say Cotter, though, is just a speed around the ruck, because that's where I feel like Queensland might beat New South Wales is speed around the ruck. When you got Hammer coming in, you got Val Holmes hitting in behind the ruck, you got Cotter the next hit up, you got KP up on the flat advantage line playing a bit of footy around the ruck. But I do see, like, Nanai, you just throw him the ball and something happens. What do you reckon?
I don't want Nanai playing 80. I want, come on at 25, 30-minute mark. When there's fatigue in the game, play 50 to 55 straight.
Yep.
Takes a bit of pressure off him making those defensive decisions and efforts under fatigue in the back end of the game.
Yeah, I'm with Timmy. I think I want Cotter out on the field as much as possible, to be honest with you. Great defender, very important as well. But I'm with you. I'd probably start Fermor as well and have Nanai off the bench, a little bit of chaos. Because to Rue's point, that's where you kind of step back and go, this kind of could be anything for the next 15 minutes.
Which edge, like if they start as named, which edge do you think Nanai's on?
Left edge?
He played both for the Cowboys. He's playing left this year. He played right.
Yeah, I'd say whatever he's playing at club, which is left.
Left, okay.
I'd assume, to be honest,
I don't know, because he's always been more of a right edge backer, right? But he's sort of made a bit of a shift since coming back into the starting side to the left this year. I'm not sure, to answer your question. Like, Ruben Cotter, I don't know if it impacts him too much what edge he would start on. It's a tricky one.
I think if I'm running with a debutant centre like them, I think I'm putting Cotter on that edge, personally. I wouldn't be putting Nanai out there. And I know Toya's, defensively been fantastic.
But still, it's debutant.
It's debutant, marking Latrell Mitchell.
World's most dangerous job.
I wouldn't be putting Nanai on that edge. I think you have to put him on the left.
I'll be surprised if Fermor doesn't start, though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that they're just doing that, so there's not much chat around it. And, you do have to, I guess, plan a little bit differently with Nanai and Fermor starting compared to each other.
And on those benches, Campy, one potential weakness I see in both lineups is that they've both got forwards as coverage for the back line. So if it's Origin, there's going to be carnage. There's every chance there will be an early HIA or injury or something. Someone goes down early in the back line. It's going to force both Fermor or Connor Watson to centre. Both who can do a job there, but this isn't club level. This is Origin where you're coming up against whoever it is, a superstar centre that you're opposing. Yeah. And all of a sudden, that writes the opposition's game plan because they go, get at this bloke at centre because there's the weakness. So that's massive.
Yeah, huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, I guess, there's no other way around it. You really would be moving Bo out there. You can't be moving Dearden out there. I will say I know there is a question around what Dearden will play and how he'll play. I've actually got a lot of faith that even if he's put in there at 13, I think Dearden around the ruck is good because his strongest part of his game is his running game. And I just think that, like, if you can just get him around the ruck, whether it's 9 or 13, I actually am more confident than most people that he's going to go on and kill it through the middle. I
tend to be on the same avenue. And, you've asked the question, what's the plan? And I'll openly say I don't have an exact plan for him right now.
No one does.
No one, well.
Except, Billy,
Billy would.
I haven't been told by anyone this is what we'll do with him.
Yeah, but I look at Dearden, I just think he's an Origin player.
Yeah.
I just think he, some of the plays he came up with last year, despite a losing series, I just wouldn't leave him out, and I'd be confident he can come on at lock or hooker and do a job for them.
Well, if there's one person that you would have faith, let's say Connor Watson comes on, and you've got one person that's a Queenslander that you want to do a job on Connor Watson, it would be Dearden in this roster because he's just a battler. He's going to go all day. He's got the same fitness as Connor Watson, same kind of build as well.
I think the fact that Harry Grant's coming back for that hamstring return, he's one game back, 55 minutes for the Storm in that game, suggests that Dearden probably has to come on at 9 and play around there. Like, if Harry Grant's fully fit, you'd be trying to get him 80 minutes. The alternative is, all right, do you give him a spell and put Cotter there at some stage? But it probably looks like he comes on and just spends time around number 9 and Harry gets a spell. And then maybe spends a little bit of time at 13 when Harry comes back on. But
yeah, I think also Cotter, yes, he used to play 9 a long time ago, but he hasn't had ball in hand passing as much as Dearden. And I understand passing off the deck is different to passing, but it's just the fact that Dearden has been handling the footy every week, constantly passing. I just think that Cotter would probably be a little bit rusty at 9.
Yeah, I love Cotter more than anyone. I think his days at 9 are over. I think when you can pick a 14 like Tom Dearden or like Kurt Mann, I don't think you even look at Ruben Cotter.
See, I reckon you could go Carrigan gets his rest, Cotter could move into that 13 role, then Dearden could go to 9 for Harry Grant, because Harry Grant's going to need a break. Because Harry Grant's that kind of player, if you leave him on for the 80, because he does run, he can get fatigued towards the end of games.
I think you'd probably take him off about the 30-minute mark, bring him back on about 15 minutes into the second half. He plays that 55 to probably 60 minute.
Yeah.
You give him that spell and,
one real interesting one for me is Lindsay Collins. I know he's done it so many times in the Origin arena, but if you were to say like for like, he's going up against Spencer Leniu. And you've essentially got the power super athlete in Spencer Leniu, who is just all power, no breaks, versus the absolute battler in Lindsay Collins. So if I'm going to back one player in the first 10 minutes, it's going to be Spencer Leniu to win that battle every time. If I'm going to back a player to win the 20 minutes, it's going to be Lindsay Collins every day of the week. So it's just really a matter of, can Queensland shut down that first 10 minutes of Spencer Leniu? Because if they can, there's actually a bit of rumour around Spencer Leniu after that first 10 minutes because he is so explosive.
It's a really interesting pick by Billy Slater from the point of view of, we all thought a few years ago, Gaggai's an automatic, and Billy went, no, making a tough call, letting an Origin legend go. You've got Lindsay Collins who comes in and plays, 25 minutes back on return, and Billy just straight away, Corey Horsburgh, Lindsay Collins.
Yep.
No, I'm still going to take the old bull. I know he's still got more in him.
Yeah.
It's one that I sit there and go, fuck, has he... I personally think there's a good chance it's the wrong call.
Yeah. Has he gone 1 year too long?
Has he gone 1 year too long with him, especially when you've got guys like Corey Horsburgh that are available? It's a huge watch for me.
Yeah, absolutely huge watch, because that could genuinely, let's say it's all of our players are hitting their form, your players are hitting your form. It could literally be Spencer Leniu or Collins that change the game. It could be a big defensive play from Collins, or it could be a big attacking play from Spencer.
Would you consider, and if he was fully fit, it's probably what I would do. I just have the concerns around his injury. I'd probably start with Lindsay and bring Mo off the bench in an ideal world.
I like it.
I don't mind it. And you just, because he's been there, he's done it. I know Fodawaker has as well. I guess body for body, physically wise, Fodawaker probably matches up better to Leniu. I'm much more confident that Fodawaker could go toe-to-toe physically with Lenu than Collins, just because of the shapes of their bodies.
I just think you get Collins on that first 20 to do all the dog work, the grit work,
Fatigue stuff.
then you get him off, and then, you talk a bit of X factor off the bench. I'm not saying Fodawaker adds a heap of it, but you said in terms of a like replacement, quite good leg speed for a big fella, Fodawaker.
Thick as he's a thick boy.
He can bring that on through the middle, so I would.
And I just think that, like, is Fodawaker known for his fatigue work, covering holes? No, he's known for a big body that's hard to drive back, and he always wins that first contact, usually because he's a big boy. And so I probably don't want Fodawaker making a million cover tackles and having to, be on the field for 20, 30 minutes straight. I'd rather him come on and just say, mate, get out there and give me 10 minutes of the hardest work you possibly can. Whereas Collins, on the other hand, I do trust him to, he might get bumped off the first 2-3 sets, but I know in the 4th, 5th and 6th set, he's still going to be there making those tackles kind of thing.
The more we talk about it, the more I think maybe Fodawaker does come off the bench and Collins starts that first 20.
Yeah, I think so. I'd be surprised if I was even surprised with Fodawaker not being a part of the squad, but just named starting. Even though he's had some good games this year, but Fodawaker off the bench, I totally get that. It's just the starting that surprises me quite a bit.
Is there a chance that happens, you reckon? Collins starts?
I think so.
A very good chance.
Because I just look at it, and the more we talk about it now, and I go, okay, who in our forward pack has the same body shape as Spencer Lenu, or at least closest thing to it? It actually is Fodawaker. It's quite stocky, quite thick. Yes, is he as fast as Spencer Lenu? Probably not, but I bet you he's a bit heavier than him as well. So maybe that is the like for like you try to go for.
And I think as well, once you do that, all of a sudden you're looking at the Queensland bench and it's got Nye and it's got Fodawaker on it. And I think the other thing as well, which is going to be my next point to bring up with you guys, Trent Leroux, when he comes onto the field, are we assuming he goes into 13 and Carrigan sort of shifts into that middle forward role?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to assume so. You'd have to, unless he comes on at front row and it's kind of the same thing, but you'd have to assume so.
Surely
you couldn't be picking him just to play as a front rower.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, the only other option I can look at is you just say, well, 13's like front row anyway, so you just chuck him on there and you go for a bit of a lighter forward pack that can move. Again, I don't think that will happen. I'm just saying that's the option. Yeah, I think that he probably goes on for 13 for Carrigan, and he just fights fire with fire.
Yeah, not unlike Billy to have 3 changes now before kick-off too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Does it all the time.
Years, yeah.
Queensland
it's almost
notorious.
weird when he doesn't do it.
Yeah.